Hi Stampers, this is Kim with Great Inspirations. Thank you for joining me today. And as you may be able to tell, my voice is a little different. I am having a horrible allergy attack, but that's pretty normal for this time of year. So we'll see how I can get through this video. So welcome, and today we're going to take a look at a bundle. It's a die bundle that is in the current Stampin' Up! Mini catalog, and that would be the January through April 2024 catalog. And this bundle is called Ice Cream Swirl. And here are some projects I created using that bundle. Now, here are the dies, and here is the stamp set. As you can see, it has some really cute images, and these images are much bigger than on the cover. It says they're at 90%, so they're reduced 10%. But for example, here is the ice cream. As you can see, it's quite a bit bigger than what's on the cover. So there is that, and I do have the images stamped out, and as I always do, I use some different colors to stamp the images just so I can get a feel for them, for how they stamp, how they look. And I like to use different colors just to kind of get my mind thinking of, oh, what colors could I use with these stamps. Now there are 12 stamps, and they are photopolymer, and there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 greetings: the yum yum, make a wish, thanks for everything, and hope your day is sweet. Now there are various things you can do with these stamps, but then when you combine them with the dies, this bundle is very, very, very versatile. Now, as you can see right here, this stamp, or this die, I mean, it cuts out the cone, but it cuts out like a card, like a front and a back. And right here is an example, but I made it into like a little gift tag you might put on a birthday gift. So see, here's your cone, you die cut it, and then I stamped it, and then I used this die, which is right here, and here's that cone die. But I used that to kind of dress up the little cone. I just put happy birthday, and then inside I put just for you. I put a little bit of baker's twine in the top and a few gems, and I thought that made a really cute tag. Don't punch the hole and leave off the baker's twine, and that would make a really cute card, because this image, when you put it together, the cone, either the folded cone, or you can also, you cut this right in half and you get this, and then there is a die that does the texturing. This will measure about 5.5 inches, maybe just below. So it would fit in one of Stampin' Up's medium-size envelopes, the A2 size envelopes. So that's kind of cool, because I think a lot of kids like to get shaped cards, and this would be good for that. But like I say, I've made this into a gift tag. And another thing I did with it is I thought it would be cute for a place setting. So I did it just like this. I folded the cones in half. Before I did that, I put the die, the texturing die, right here on there, and ran it through just on one side. And then I made it so it could stand up. I know it's kind of hard to see maybe, but it does. Oops, it fell over. But it does stand up sometimes. But I just put a label on it because I thought this would be cute for a place setting for a birthday party. Like, you could put a child's name on there, or if you have like an ice cream sundae or an ice cream cone, like a little bar, then you could put this and have, like, you know, right on there sprinkles or chocolate chips or whatever the topping may be. And I was thinking like, for example, strawberry syrup. I like to have things labeled because I'm allergic to strawberries, so anytime I say pink, if I don't know what it is, I kind of stay away from it. But I just thought this would be really cute for that. And what I did, I just put a little piece of cardstock that I measured across here, and that's about 1 inch, give or take. So I took a piece that's 1 inch, the width that I need, by 2, and I scored every 1/2 inch, so 1/2, 1 and 1 1/2, folded it into a W, and then just adhered it to this side and then this side of the cone, and that's what allows, it's this little mechanism, allows your cone to stand up. Now see, now it's standing. It's being good. Nope, it falls over. It's funny, when I put it this way, it stands. When I put it this way, it falls over. There we go. So anyway, that was an idea I had for just using the cone with the ice cream. So let's go on and look at some of the other dies. Of course, we have the serving of ice cream here, and here's another you can put on top of it for the swirl, just like I've done right here. And then there are dies that cut out. Let me find the donut, which is right here. And then this little, it can be a straw or one of those, are they called pirouette cookies? Oh, I love those. It can be that. It can be whatever you want it to be. And then here is the strawberry and the cherry. And now we have a stamp that stamps sprinkles, but we have a die right here that cuts out the sprinkles. So you get, this is Flirty Flamingo, and I put some sweet sorbet behind it so you can see the shapes, and then I glued the shapes down here. These are the little sprinkles you could put on top of your ice cream if you cared to. And then we talked about the cone die, and how if you just want one cone, you cut it in half, and then you will actually have 2, but you can fold it to make the card. And then there's also the texturing die for the ice cream cone, and there's also a stamp that you can stamp the texture on, and I believe I did that on this right here. And then of course, like I said, there are the sprinkles. Now on this card I stamped the sprinkles. I stamped it several times. So like I said, these dies, and honestly I like these because they're so easy. They look small, but they were so easy once I die cut them and scooped them all up, to use my take your pick tool, this little putty end right here, and just pick them up. I put a little dot of glue down, then I just picked them up and put them down wherever I wanted them to be. And so I like that they were small but large enough to use my take your pick tool, the putty tool end, and made it easy to place where I wanted to put them. So those are the dies. We talked a little bit about the stamps, and we've talked a little bit about the cards. We talked about these two, my idea for the little label or place setting that will stand sometimes. And then this was very simple. I just stamped my ice cream, and then I stamped the swirl on it. Well, it's already on there, but I guess I die cut my ice cream and then I stamped the swirl on it. Or you could do it, you could stamp it and die cut it, doesn't matter, whichever works best for you. And then of course I die cut my cones and stamped, cut them in half. Here, just cut it in half, and used this stamp for the texture. And then the Yum Yum sentiment, I just cut in half and put part on each cone, and then on the inside I just put Make a Wish and stamp some of those sprinkles. Now on this card, this is a tent card. See? It has that mechanism like this. It's just a different size because my card is 4.5 inches wide. That's how long I cut it. And I made this one 2 inches wide, but still scored it. Well, I scored it at every 1/2 inch. And then inside, I just adhered one in here and one in here. And then the W part of it there, that's what makes it stand. So it says make a wish. As you can see, I die cut the ice cream and then I die cut the swirl and adhered it to the ice cream and then put that on top of the cone. And then I used the make a wish on a die cut. And then on the back of the card is where I made a space to sign your name or write a message. Now on my blog that corresponds with this video, there will be a link to how to make a tent card. And that is where you will also find all the cutting measurements, supply list, and a few instructions for the cards. Now this card right here, it was actually inspired by a card that is in the catalog. Mine's a little different. And on that blog post, you will find the page that this card is on. But I like that you could take this cone and just cut along here to make a little bowl. And then you can, just put all your fruits, and there's a little donut, or if you want it to be a cookie, it's in there. And kind of have another way to use the stamp set instead of just making the ice cream cones. And it says, hope your day is sweet. Of course, I've got a little embossing in the mat here, and then I put some designer series paper, sort of made it look like a tablecloth. And then inside, happy birthday, and I put a couple of those little donuts. So there's that card. Now this card, I have no idea what it's actually called, but I just called it a mock gatefold with pop-up because this is what it does. And it does sit up. I don't know that you can really see that, but it does sit up. And all I did, this is very simple, and I will have instructions and a diagram on that corresponding blog post. And the link to that blog post will be in the description of this video. But here's my diagram for the scoring and the cutting. And I have a piece right here I'll walk you through. Now, this card base is just a little different than normal. It's 8 inches by 5.5 inches. Then along the 8-inch side, you're going to score at 2. Then you're going to score at 6. Then you will turn it, put it in your paper trimmer at 1 along the 5.5 inch line at 1 1/4 inch. And you're going to score from the 2 inch to the 6 inch, or 6 inch to 2 inch, whichever end you have in there. And just score, in other words, you're going to cut, just from score line to score line, from the 2 inch score line to the 6 inch score line. You will make a cut. Then you'll turn it this way and do the exact same thing. Go in 1/4 inch and cut from 2 inches to 6 inches. Then you're going to pop it back in along the 8-inch side and score at 4 inches from the top to the cut line. Flip it over and do the exact same thing at the bottom. Go from here to the cut line. Then put it back in, and then you're going to score 3 inches from this cut line to this cut line. So from 1 1/4 inch to whatever 1 1/4 is from 5.5. So let's see, is that 4 1/4? Something like that. So, and then you do the same thing at 5 inches. You score from 1 1/4 to 4 1/4. That can't be right because you have 1 1/4 here and 1 1/4 here. I will figure that out and put it on my blog. All you have to really do is score from the cut line to the cut line at 3 inches, and then from the cut line to the cut line at 5 inches. So then when you do that, you fold these two back, you fold these two back, and then fold these, and you'll have this. Now, because this image is so large, when you put it on here, you will these portions will be to the back. Sometimes when you make this card and you have a smaller image that fits, these portions will be at the top. If you can do it either way, that's up to you. But with this one, because the image is so large, these won't pop out to the front, so they have to pop to the back. So there you have that. And like I say, on my corresponding blog post, you will find the instructions for this, and you will also find this little chart that I just showed you. And that should be able to walk you through the card, and I'm sure you will be able to do it. So we have this, and then it's like, okay, well, where do I sign my name? So what I did on the back, I just put 2 pieces of cardstock, and if you wanted to cover these other areas, you could do that as well, but I just covered this side and this side. I put happy birthday, there's plenty of room to write there and here as well. And then when you fold it to put it in the envelope, I just folded this one away from the birthday, the happy birthday, and this one in the opposite direction. And it fits in the envelope really well. And then when they open it up, it pretty much stands up on its own. So there is that card. So these are just a few ideas for using the ice cream swirl bundle. Of course, if you don't have this stamp set or this bundle, you can use other stamp sets, some dies, and whatever you like to create cards very similar to this. Now, as I have mentioned a few times, all of the supply list, measurements, and some instructions, and that chart, and a few other things can be found on my corresponding blog post, and the link to that blog post is in the description of this video. Thank you so much for joining me today and putting up with my very hoarse voice. I do so appreciate it. And until next time, stamp happy.